I guess I would
go with what you feel, man.
I would say this to start the game, to start the show. I would say, finally, Paul George had, in a moment where they really needed him, a big game, and a game that looked more like, hey, that's the Paul George that got a max deal and had earned it with all-star level play last year and was a prolific shot maker across multiple teams throughout his career. This is the guy they need, right? And I'm not saying you're going to get 29 points and that type of shot making every single night, right? But in order to sustain this plan that they allegedly have for the season, to give Joel Embiid time to win games in the meantime, he's got to be a capable either, 1A, 1B or a 2, whatever it is on a given night next to Tyrese Maxey. Well, tonight he was the number 1 for most of that game. And most importantly, at the start of the game, he set the tone for this group by making shots. And I thought there was a knock-on effect with the way he was shooting the ball, on his ability to get into the paint, score at the rim, score around the rim, make passes around the floor, facilitate good offense, aside from what we refer to as a disastrous turnover down the stretch of that game that nearly gave the game away. But that's the guy we've been looking for. And on top of all of that, the offense was great. You score 29 and an efficient 29 at that. That's always good. The defense, too. That's been, since day one of him returning this year, he has consistently made an impact on that end of the floor, poking loose balls away, making properly timed stunts to dislodge drivers and blow up possessions. There were 2 different plays tonight where Charlotte had shot clock violations because he blew plays up at the tail end of the 24. And seeing him able to do that has been really heartening because, let's be honest, we haven't seen a ton of explosiveness from him. Maybe that's not surprising at 34 with 2 different knee injuries, albeit minor injuries, early in the season, where he's probably not trusting his body to the degree he needs to really ramp it up, go to the rim, go at guys' necks, try to dunk on people, that type of thing. But on the defensive end, he's moving great, and his timing has been excellent, and his ability to impact the game on that end of the floor makes you really hopeful that when he's able to put it all together, he can have these games like tonight, and he can do it in a role where he doesn't have to dominate the ball, right? He doesn't have to take a ton of shots and be constantly on ball. He took 16 shots tonight, 10 to 16 for 29 points. That's about as clean of a game as you are going to get from a wing player in any era. And this type of game is exactly why they decided to take a gamble and say, we know the back end of this contract might end up looking bad, right? And certainly the gamble so far has not worked out the way they would hope. The short term has not been good enough from him. There have been a lot of struggles. They need to see this guy more. They need him right now as their season still kind of hangs in the balance and we don't know what they're getting from Joel Embiid. That was an awesome Paul George game. He's the biggest reason they won.
We all silly like the mayor.